Hey, Picks and Parlay family, it's me, Detroit Lenny here with another episode of Bet Win Repeat. It is Tuesday, it is August, it is the 22nd. We are rolling here. Let's talk a little housekeeping stuff real quick. Mute my thing. Real quick. This is Bet Win Repeat. Obviously, it's Tuesday, like I said. Don't forget, if you're into contests, head over to Picks and Parlays contest page. You can find that over at facebook.com/groups/picks and parlay contest. Head over there. You'll never miss out on any of our contests. They're all changing come football season. If you're familiar with the Circa contest, which I know many of you are, we're going to do similar version of that, our own kind of spin-off of that, like more on a weekly basis, not like a cumulative record. It's more on a week-to-week basis. So we're going to have some stuff like that out going on as well. And the weekly contests on a basis, the monthly contests will all be there as well. But I just wanted to let you guys know, and I'll have some more as football season gets, or week one gets a little bit closer. Probably next week I'll start unveiling a little bit of stuff as far as like how it's going to look, which is still a little bit up in the air. So we'll go with that. But if you're into premium plays, you got to head over to picksandparlays.net. Use the promo code MLB. That'll save you 20% off the entire site. We're going to have Ross Benjamin join us. We got some baseball to talk a little bit today. There is some football going on. Well, not today, but preseason week 3. I'm going to get Ross's opinion on week 3 in preseason. This is the last week of preseason, so I know how I am, but I'd like to get the legends perspective on that. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. You'll never miss any of our live content when we go live. Let's bring in Ross Benjamin here, the man, the myth, the legend. Hold applause. Hold your applause to the end, please. Ross Benjamin, everybody. How we doing, Ross?
I'm doing great, Lenny. Thank you for having me once again.
Absolutely. Well, listen, before we get into baseball, preseason, your thoughts on the last preseason week. I know this is week 3. Normally we use the 4 weeks in preseason, but like, I made money in the preseason. I would say that I'm that guy that had the Ravens last night, but whatever.
I feel your pain there, Lenny. I had him as my preseason game of the year last night. So on the money line, besides. So
yeah, exactly. That's what I had him on too. And I watched that game, and I was like, I saw it unfolded, and I was like, whatever, folks, whatever. Yeah, tread lightly in the preseason. But what are your thoughts on the last week of preseason? Do we treat it any different than we did the other weeks in preseason?
Well, it's sort of an elephant in the room kind of thing, because in prior years, up until 2 years ago, we were playing 4 preseason games, and mostly I would say close to 90% of the time, week 3 of the 4 games was used for dress rehearsals for the starters on every team in the NFL, where they would play their starters through a half or into the third quarter. But now, we saw Washington last night play their starters for the first half of that game. And I can't believe that they'll do the same in week 3. So you really have to backtrack and see what the teams used in terms of which ones used their starters for a half, who didn't. And the big thing is, Lenny, we don't know what to expect, because in the last preseason game in years past, which was week 4, the season would start a week later. And
now we have that kind of weird off.
Yeah, you get the week in between now. Right. So after week 3, there's going to be a 1-week hiatus, and then the preseason or the regular season starts in the first week of September, which is a 2-week layoff for a lot of teams from their last preseason game to the regular season. So there's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to that, and it's not as definitive a thing that we used to be able to count on week 4 being meaningless. Having said that, I'm going to err on the side of caution in the last preseason week, especially we got some college football coming up Saturday, and those teams are playing for real. And then we get into the first week of college football season the following Thursday.
I'll tell you what, I think I think we're on the same page. Like I preach this, I can't say it enough, tread lightly. The beginning of the year, as far like I say this about baseball all the time, like tread lightly when everybody's so excited for baseball in April. And then I'm like, hey, ooh, long baseball season. Let's go into this a little lightly, and preseason, I'm like 3-3 in preseason. So I mean, I'm not. If I walk out of preseason 3-3, I'm okay. I'm not. It's not the end of the world, I will take it and move on. But I don't know if I got a whole lot going on this week.
Yeah.
For NFL. I think I'm gonna.
Well, I mean, I mentioned I lost my
more.
Yeah. I mentioned I missed on my NFL preseason game of the year last night as Baltimore got nipped 29-28. I had a money line play there. But I am 6-3 this preseason. I've gone 24-13 since 2021, 79-55 since 2010, which is 59%. Yeah, I tread lightly because it's preseason. But, when you look at my record, you say, why wouldn't you play more? I could tell you this. I agree with you. In Major League Baseball, when you start out in April, I'm a data kind of guy. I got to have some data to support what's going on. And there's not a lot to go on in early April into mid-April. And I like to, before I really start dabbling in volume, I really like to see starting pitchers have at least 3 starts under their belt for that particular season. Yeah. But in the NFL, I've hit over 65% in the NFL over since 2010 in the month of September. And I can't put my finger on it, Lenny, other than to say that if there are going to be soft lines and the odds makers are at a little bit of a disadvantage, it would be in the month of September because they don't have a handle on things yet as it pertains to the NFL. Because you get a lot of turnover in personnel from one year to the next. You get a lot of free agents coming in, and it's all conjecture at that point. So my point is if you're going to hit the NFL is not one that I would tread lightly on. College football, on the other hand, we got a 7-game card on Saturday, and 3 of the games I think have a line of 35 or greater, if I'm not mistaken. Those games I automatically eliminate. So,
that's fair. The NFL is it's a short season. I mean, it's a long season, but because they only play once a week as opposed to baseball, they'll play every day, every week. So because it's a short, I don't know. I say tread lightly, but I don't in the NFL. I go hard all the time. But college football, I will tread a little bit lighter because, like you said, those big lines, minus 30, minus,
I eliminate those right off the board.
That.
Even the following Saturday, we're going to see lines like that. And you just, because we have so many games to cover, me making my life easier. The other thing is too, I won't take an underdog unless I think they have a realistic chance to win. And when you get into the 35s and the 40s, the statistics will show those teams winning games straight up is somewhere around 2%. Over the last 30 years or so. So I stay away from those. And as far as college football goes, the thing to consider with that too is we didn't have to account for the transfer portal like we do now. And the transfer portal was seen. Yeah. Well, you got these NIL deals now, right? And you see a guy like Sam Hartman go from Wake Forest to Notre Dame. He probably would have been a 3rd or 4th round draft choice this year, but the money he probably got offered in an NIL deal to go to Notre Dame and transfer for his 6th year, which he had 6 years of eligibility, far exceeds what he would have got on a rookie contract in the NFL. So little things like that, you have to take a look at. You have to be abreast of what's going on in the transfer portal. You have to be abreast on any head coaching changes. In the transfer portal itself, Lenny, when you start going team by team, it's an overwhelming task. So, if I'm going to tread lightly, it's going to be early on in college football as opposed to the NFL.
That's fair. Tim Earl says, tread lightly. Nah, fire away. That's Tim Earl. But he also
he's a volume handicapper. You know what I mean?
He is for sure. He says Ross is the GOAT. He calls you the GOAT there.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And Sean is also a volume handicapper. And, these guys do good as a volume handicapper.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean because they're volume and I'm not that they're wrong and I'm right. No, it's a personal preference and whatever works for you. And how could you argue with Sean Higgs, who had over 200 NFL picks last year and went 64%? Talk about making a big chunk of money.
Yeah, he did all right last year for sure. Anything stand out for you in college football this Saturday already that you like that you could give us a little sneak peek on without giving too much away? I don't want to give away.
I would have a small lean toward Vanderbilt minus the 17 against Hawaii. I think Hawaii is going to be horrible again. I think that you're looking at a Vandy team that's got some momentum coming into year 3 in Mike Lee's tenure. I think it's Clark Lee. I'm sorry. They're coming off a 5-7 year last year, which is nothing to be excited about with most programs across the country. But when you're at Vanderbilt, you play in the SEC and you win 5 games and you haven't done it since 2018. That's something to build off of. And they actually won 2 SEC games last year over 2 bowl teams in Kentucky and Florida. So, and they return a lot of starters this year. And they've been pretty good in non-conference home games, even through the lean years. So I would have a small lean toward laying at 17 with Vanderbilt over a hapless Hawaii program right now.
Right. Yeah. Hawaii's in bad shape. And it's, it'd be different if it was in Vandy. Maybe I would give them a fighting chance, if it was in Hawaii, I should say it is in Vandy. But I don't.
I got another one too, if you want, Lenny.
Shoot them.
All right, this is going to be in week 1, which is Thursday, August 31st. So not too far away. Today is Tuesday. We're talking 9 days away. And it comes in the NC State and UConn game. And NC State right now, they opened at 17. They're down to 15, a total 47. This is an NC State program that last year had extremely high expectations. Some even said they were a long shot to make the college football playoff, but they vastly disappointed. Even though they went 8-5, they were only 4-4 in the ACC. They lost their bowl game. Now, they returned players from last year that really did not have a lot of high quality production. And I go by something that's called RPR. And I get this out of Playbook Magazine. It's called Returning Production Rankings. And right now, going into the season, NC State is number 104 nationally in terms of returning production. They did lose their starting quarterback as Devin Leary transferred to Kentucky. However, they brought in Brennan Armstrong, the former Virginia quarterback, who 2 years ago was sensational. Last year got no pass protection whatsoever. But again, it's a new quarterback and a new system. I just think that there's going to need to be some growing pains there early on. And this is also an NC State team last year on the road, 2-3 straight up, 1-4 against the spread. 0-4 against the spread and 2-3 straight up in their last 5 with current head coach Dave Doran as an away favorite of 3.5 or more. And consider this. You're going to UConn. You're playing the Huskies. Not exactly a powerhouse in college football, although they're coming off an encouraging season a year ago. However, this is the same team that last year NC State demolished at home 41-10. And the game wasn't even that close as the final score may indicate because they outgained them 492-160. Okay, so UConn will be playing with revenge, and they're an experienced team. NC State, I just told you, don't bring a lot back in terms of returning production. The big part about this, Lenny, is 9 days after this game, they're going to play it in their home opener against number 13 Notre Dame. So if there's a lean spot here or a soft spot or a possible flat spot in a season opener, it's right here. Because you're going to Connecticut, and there's probably going to be all of 25,000 people in the stands. The following week, you're going to have the national headlights on you with a huge crowd taking on a powerhouse in Notre Dame. And you're taking on a team not only going to Connecticut, Connecticut, excuse me. I'm thinking of the beer I drink, Coors. But in any event, I just
want the
see
Coors, folks.
There you go. I just see it as a flat spot here. So I look at UConn last year, Lenny, under Jim Mora Jr.'s in his first year at UConn. They went 6-7 and went to a bowl game. And that returning production ranking, they're number 9 in the country, 18 returning starters, number 9 nationally in that RPR category. And they went 5-1 at home last year, and they'll be playing with revenge. I'm not calling for an outright upset here, but I just think that they're going to be good enough, and NC State's going to be flat enough because of the reasons I gave for them to stay inside the big number of 15 at home.
I don't hate that. I love a good home dog. Like, you know what I mean? I will always take point. I love taking points at home, especially opening game. You know what I mean? For UConn, this is it. You know, they might not be great this year. They might, you know, whatever, but you know, they're not winning at all. They're probably not making it to college playoffs or anything, but this game right here, home opener, they want to make a statement. And
against a Power 5 conference team, and a Power 5 conference team that's got the number 13 team in the country up in their home opener 9 days later.
Right. Yeah, 100%. I love that. I love that. Good look on your part, Rod. This is why we call you the GOAT, Rand. This is why you're the man, the myth, the legend. Rickett says, "What's up, everybody? What's up, Rickett? Julie's in the house. Tim Earl's in the house. Tim says, home dogs. More like home Huskies. Let's go. Yeah, you got Huskies.
There you go. I can't imagine that the general public's going to be flocking to the betting windows or their sportsbook online to bet on UConn in this game because you know, NC State Power 5 team on the road against UConn. You know, we're definitely not going to be a public side either.
You know, you mentioned those big dogs, those 30, 20, 30-point dogs, whatever this, that 40-point dogs. Number 2 school voted Michigan versus East Carolina in Michigan, East Carolina. Tim is God bless him, but God bless him.
East Carolina
ECU
alum or whatever.
Yeah. I might not be on the same page as Tim as far as the outright upset, but I do think Michigan. I don't know. That's just a lot of points. I'm probably on ECU plus all.
Well, you got to remember too. There's some turmoil going on there as they just suspended Jim Harbaugh for the first 3 games, and that was a school-imposed suspension.
Yeah,
it wasn't an NCAA suspension, so it's possible he might. When the NCAA does finally intervene, that could be even more so. But I'm trying to look up East Carolina's returning production. We know with what Michigan's bringing back, the RPR with Michigan means nothing to me because how well they recruit. But they're ranked 132nd in the country. That's almost last, East Carolina in RPR. And I don't know, Tim.
I don't know, bro. I mean,
I'd like to say something encouraging for your school.
You know, right? Maybe Tim look at the team total.
I'm not going to lay a big number either. So don't get me wrong. I'm not laying a big number either. But I mean, in terms of an upset, you know, that would be of epic proportions.
I honestly, for real bet, I might just look at the over there at 51.5 and hopefully get a little production out of ECU to carry that, but wouldn't be surprised if Michigan does it on their own. But I can't stand Michigan, so I'm rooting for you, Tim.
I know you.
Let's go Pirates. I can't stand them.
What about? Let me ask you this, because I've been looking at this game, and I'm not, I might use it as a premium play, so I might not offer much here. But Michigan State is just a 14.5-point favorite at home against Western Michigan in their opener.
I don't like
That's
it.
your school, right? That's your
Yeah,
team.
Michigan State. So in real life, I went to Central. I went to Central Michigan. So I'm a Chippewa at heart. I mean, don't get carried away, folks. I went like half a semester, one
Oh, okay. I'm
semester.
sorry.
Maybe,
They're playing
like, not a
Central
lot.
Michigan, or I thought it was Western Michigan. My
No, I
mistake.
played for. I went to Central, but I'm a Spartan till I'm Spartan at heart.
Yeah.
But I don't like the number. I know it's
Yeah.
in East Lansing for Michigan State. And I expect Michigan State to have a better year than they did last year, but I don't really. This screams bad. Just this headlines.
Yeah. Yeah.
This just has
They're
bad news.
feel like they're begging
over
you to take the Big Ten team at home in their home opener at just a little over a touchdown, 2-touchdown favorite against a MAC school. So, hey, I was just interested to hear what your feeling was there, because I know that you're realistic.
Yeah. I try, like, I'm just not gonna bet that game. I'm telling you right now, I can't do it because
probably the safest thing to do as a Michigan State fan, really.
I'll be honest with you, everything I look at this game, I am second guessing myself because I feel like I'm just homering it and being a homer. So I don't want to have anything skewed when it comes to that. So I'm just gonna, because if Central wins, I'm still going to be a little bit okay with that. But I want Michigan State to win, because Central Michigan will mess around, come out, win this damn game, and then lose everything else the rest of the year. They don't give a shit about nothing else except for this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
they're going to be one of the better teams in the MAC. I could tell you that.
Speaking of the MAC, who do you like coming out of the MAC? I love the MAC. Damn it, I love the MAC.
I got a little bit of a lean toward Ohio in the MAC this year.
Yeah.
So Ohio, Toledo's going to be good. Central Michigan will be good. Other than that, I have nothing else in mind. I didn't do any MAC previews, so I can't give you an extremely intelligent answer to that. But off the top of my head, that's another game. You're looking at Ohio at San Diego State. Is it Saturday or the following Thursday? It's Saturday.
It is
Saturday. It's Saturday, isn't it?
Saturday.
This
Saturday. Ohio. Yeah,
look at that line. Doesn't that smell fishy to you, Lenny?
Yeah, I'm on Ohio. I'm already, just full disclosure. I'm already bet Ohio money line plus money.
Yeah,
I like this Ohio Bobcat, the Ohio Bobcats. I'm put a little respect on their name. They are, I think, the best team in Ohio. That includes the NFL teams. I'm telling you right now.
No, they're not.
I can't stand Ohio State. If you think my hatred for Michigan runs deep,
that's a ridiculous statement.
Oh, it's crazy. I know.
Whatever makes you
Tomorrow, back me up. Best team in Ohio.
Well, you got Cincinnati too, so I mean, they're going to be good in the MAC. There's no two ways about it. And we talk about a fishy line. You got San Diego State opened as a small favorite. Now they're even they bet Ohio down to a 2.5-point dog now. So it's almost like you look at, the casual observer or somebody who's not avid, when they look at games, they see San Diego State and remember, they're always one of the better teams in the Mountain West Conference, and they're playing a MAC school and they're only laying less than a field goal at home. Where do I sign up for that? But not so fast, my friends. Be real careful there.
That's fair. Out of the MAC's broken to the East and the West. I like Toledo this year as well. The Rockets. I think the race in the West in the MAC is between Ball State, Central, and Toledo. Kind of, you could throw them in a mixer and they're just going to beat the hell out of each other, and it's going to be a lot of points and it'll be good football. But I think the the MAC, the East, I don't think anybody's going to really even challenge Ohio coming out of that. So,
yeah. I
and
mean,
I say a
Buffalo
lot of
lost
crap
a lot
about
of
Ohio
players.
State. I was just saying, I say
Yeah.
a lot of stuff about Ohio State because I know Ricketts an Ohio State fan. So,
Well,
I
you're going to
can't.
find out. You're going to find out one of the teams in the MAC how good they are because speaking of the best team in Ohio, they'll be traveling to Columbus to take on Ohio State, and that's the Buffalo Bulls. So, and I don't see them competing in that game, but that'll tell us a lot if they are going to contend at whatsoever in the MAC. And I'm not talking about pulling an outright upset in Columbus, but past Buffalo teams that are good really accounted themselves well when stepping up in these against these Power 5 schools on the road.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how they do in the first week of the season there.
Buffalo's always a fun team to watch. They sling that ball around. Let me tell you for sure.
Yeah.
Ricky thinks Buffalo's going to score some points here as well. What do you got going on in the MLB today? And not much.
I got my Major League Baseball underdog game of the year going at picksandparlays.net. You can get it right now, right up at the site, $49. And it's a handsome return on your investment. We're going to cash in here. I've isolated and identified a real good betting value as an underdog. And then, in terms of a free pick in Major League Baseball, you might want to be looking at your Detroit Tigers hosting the Chicago Cubs. I like to see. I think that might be a high-scoring game, Lenny.
Ross,
you're looking at Drew Smiley.
You can't do that.
Yeah, Drew Smiley, the starter for the Cubs. He's pitched 6-0 to the over in his last 6 starts with a 10.33 ERA. And allowed 10 home runs in 27 innings pitched. I know Detroit's not a big-time hitting team, but when you got pitchers with those kind of numbers, and you're looking at a Detroit team that's gone 11-2 to the over at home the last 2 years against starting pitchers that allow an average of 1 home run or better per start, and that's exactly what Smiley does. And also the Tigers 19-7 to the over at home at night. And then the Cubs, I mean, they got some offense. They haven't shown it recently, but they do. And both bullpens have really struggled over the last 7 games. And Reese Olson for the Detroit Tigers, 11 starts with a 5.61 ERA. Pretty uninspiring. So a small lean here toward the Tigers and the Cubs over 9.
You can't give me hope like that. My blood pressure goes real high, and then I think they're going to win, and and then
I'm talking about the total, buddy. Yeah, I'm talking about the total. Anyway, I hope it's
that's fair. Well, I mean, I'm just saying that's fair. I'll take both pitchers. I could get behind that total all day, but. Yeah. I like that. Ross, I appreciate you stopping by every Tuesday. You can check out Ross. I bet when repeat here. He's on 1:00 Eastern. Tell them what you got going on, where they can find you, all that good stuff. Shameless plug. Well, take it away, Ross.
Yeah, I mean, we're on the picksandparlays.net network. So, that's where you can find me, picksandparlays.net, along with a lot of the other great handicappers there. 13-8 run in Major League Baseball right now. I'll have some college football up on Saturday. And, folks, I finished last college football season on an 18-7 run, which is good for 72%. And I fully plan on and expect to carry that over into week 0 on Saturday. And then the NFL preseason 6-3. I'll probably have 1 or 2 NFL preseason games up this week. NFL preseason 6-3 this year. 24-13 since 2021 and 79-55 since 2010. Tradition of winning, and I fully expect to close out strong in the NFL preseason. Then NFL regular season, folks, 65.4% in the month of September since 2010, as documented by another site that I won't mention because it's a competitor. A lot of good things coming up, Lenny. Picksandparlays.net is where you could find me.
Absolutely. Don't forget to use that promo code MLB. Save you 20% off of all Ross's premium plays over at picksandparlays.net. Ross, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. The man, the myth, the legend, Ross Benjamin, everybody. Thanks for stopping by, Ross.
And let me close with this. Nobody, I mean nobody, circles the wagons like Detroit Lenny. He's the man. Thank you, Lenny. I appreciate it. You
Appreciate it, buddy. Take care.
All right. Take care.
All right, guys. This has been the Bet Win Repeat show. We're gonna take on out of here, and we're gonna bounce on out. To be honest with you, I ain't got a whole lot going on in baseball. I know somebody asked me in the chat what I had going on. To be honest with you, I'm gonna look real quick. Damn it, fat finger my phone. My bets for today, stuff that. What did I bet last night? Phillies run line, Dodgers run line. I don't like it anymore. Braves run line, Astros run line, Dodgers run line, Arizona money line, and that's it. That's what I'm on. I don't like a whole lot. I got some contest plays as well that I'm about to post. I did not do a parlay party today. I'll be honest with you, it's just my sinuses are all jacked up, and I had a hard time sleeping last night, and then I overslept. Tim Earl woke me up today. 2 bets I did like that I'm about to post for my contest plays: Astros first 5 and Phillies first 5. I am parlaying both of those. I got Phillies minus. I've already parlayed those. I got Phillies first 5 minus 107 and Astros first 5 minus 117. I parlayed the poking myself in the eye with my own glasses. Can't see shit. I did parlay both of those into little 2-teamer. So good luck unless you're against me. You guys all know the deal. This has been Bet Win Repeat. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. We're here Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern. We'll be back tomorrow with Cam Ross and Hannah Mears. We'll see you guys on the next one. Good luck. Unless you're